他从来对我没有恨，也从来对我没有爱。可是他最使我苦恼、气愤和悲哀。
First things first, Exiledge or Exiledge, a Chinese developed, the first work of its team, in case you just missed out on here, is a third-person shooter, hack and slasher, Unreal Engine 5 project we actually came across around November last year. See, this game is no longer a PC exclusive, but it's also coming to the PlayStation 5, and we received the new trailer for it too. I also want to know, this thing over here is actually in its very early stages of development.
"我们把世界看错了，反说他欺骗我们。闭上眼，闭上眼。
你到底是谁？"
A few weeks back, we actually caught up with a brand new single-player game going by the name Second Loop. This was an action FPS that actually brings in sandbox physics and puzzle-solving elements, and this game you play as a robot sometime in a dystopian future and fight mechs. Not only that, but you have the power to manipulate gravity. That works for both the puzzles and also the combat. Anyway, you can purchase the game on Steam and release it for, however, still yet to be announced.
Shall not flinch from crushing any insurgency or uprising with the inexorable.
It is a stark admonition to all who would presume.
Moving on to number 3, we have Project Grey, a one-man developer's work from South Korea. Project Grey is an open-world action RPG adventure about some future or even past time, for all that I can guess, where an advanced alien civilizations known as Grey have arrived on this guy's planet, apparently trying to harvest its essence. It's a really good-looking video. We kind of suspect the finished outcome will be this good. However, there might be a slim chance. Number 4, we have a indie, in fact, Another solo developer's work, as you can see here, it's a horror game, a detective horror adventure game made with Unreal Engine 5 with a photorealistic design. That's something called Supernatural. Now, it's aiming PCs via Steam this July, offering a 2-hour gameplay with 3 different endings as well. There's a mild puzzles and a lot of suspense. Check it out in case you missed it.
Are you friendly? Where are you?
The ocean's filled with new ships, but they all come from the same river. Greed.
Possibly the biggest announcement of the year, Ubisoft history just the same. There's over 15 studios all on the Ubisoft provision. It's been working apparently for quite some time, in fact since a few years ago, on Assassin's Creed codenamed Red, which is now retitled to AC Shadows. The game basically represents a feudal era Japan. There's 2 protagonists in the game now. Ubisoft debuted its first trailer, so the game is coming out actually November 15.
We must learn to trust. Rebuild.
And follow the blade.
Of using the gates. When you travel at light speed, time slows to a crawl.
Exodus is coming from a team of BioWare developers, ex-BioWare developers, and is touted as a Mass Effect-esque, time-bending science fiction role-playing game. You should also consider this is the same team who previously came up with Magic: The Gathering, the game. Exodus is of course an open world game in nature, where players can almost explore the universe itself as a traveler. This game is coming to PCs and the PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X sometime in the future.
Our sacrifice discovers worlds, seeds hope, breaks empires. We are the travelers.
Announced around February this year, number 7, we have a squad-based survival horror shooter going by the name of The Forever Winter. Previously, just a concept trailer. Forever Winter, which, by the way, we're still not sure whether if this is the gameplay. This has been months. It really seems to be inspired by the Generation Zero, a little bit of Mass Effect, and even the Warhammer setting. Well, in any case, Forever Winter is coming to PCs only within 2024.
It's more of an addiction. I like him straight. No chaser. Even even though the stuff can kill you.
Nobody Wants to Die was announced no more than a month ago and already amongst some of the most anticipated games of the year. It's a detective noir game with a cyberpunk setting, and the story is set in New York over 300 years into the future, where the technology is advanced enough to allow consciousness be stored in memory banks and also then transferred to another body. This game is coming out late 2024.
I'll tell you what time does. Time reveals secrets. Secrets that enslave us. Secrets that poison us. Secrets that rip us apart.
Скіфе?
Що ти тут робиш?
Та трохи життя живу.
A couple of days ago, Stalker 2 received a new release date of September 5, 2024. I mean, previously we heard there's a good chance it might release around March, soon found to be not the case. But developers made the release date solid, apparently, and we got a new gameplay trailer too. This game is coming to PCs and Xbox Series X, as it was always the case. This game, for those of you new, is a survival horror open world shooter, and this is how it really looks. Grand Theft Auto 6 is currently scheduled to launch in 2025 on both Xbox Series X, PlayStation 5, and also PCs. I mean, Rockstar actually just announced a time frame of late 2024 or Q4 2024. We're still waiting on some legit gameplay. Maybe that was gameplay. All we know right now is that Grand Theft Auto 6 will be much more advanced graphically and a lot bigger. Coming in at number 11, we have Trench Tales. We've got reason to believe this is a developer's first work, but the publishing rights to this one actually goes to the team who made the game Universim, other games as well. It's another story-driven, but it's a third-person action-adventure and a horror game set in this alternative world between World War I and II. It's a very good-looking game indeed. We know it is on a Kickstarter campaign, but the release for it is still yet to be announced. We've got a new first-person Jurassic Park survival game in the making too, and this is what we got. Honestly, I haven't heard this for such a long time, I actually didn't even remember. Initially, this game was just teased with a poster. Jurassic Park Survival is a project that's nearly 20 years old, maybe even more. A few years ago, we heard the thing is, it's live and going, but then later on, apparently it was cancelled. However, developers officially announced the game is right, it's in tip-top shape, it's finally coming out sometime later this year.
Seconds to touchdown. We're at the AO.
Announced roughly half a year ago, in case you missed it, at number 13 we have a new Unreal Engine 5 first-person shooter, it's a project going by the name Grey Zone Warfare. Grey Zone is actually described by its developers as immersive tactical FPS with a maximum focus on realism. Now this one's set in a vast open world too that offers both a single and a co-op multiplayer experience. This is supposedly its developer's first work and is set to be coming to PCs in addition to PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series next year.
Why is there always suffering? And why do the bad folks always win?
Because goodness without teeth punishes not.
On the other hand, we've got Black Myth. It's another AAA game we're counting now days on. Come to mention, developers announced an August 20th release date for it. It's now coming to PCs, Xbox Series X and the PlayStation 5 as well on the same day. Anyway, Black Myth is an open-world action RPG single-player game offering Souls-like boss fights and combat mechanics, all in all set in a deep Chinese mythological setting. Taken from the Monkey King's tale, Black Myth is also made with the use of Unreal Engine 5.
Rascals, they surely know how to name.
Tell me then. Is my kind destined for extermination? You're driven by greed, not destiny.
So this is the face of the destined one. It will fit me just as well.
Bathed in blood, yet preaching peace. Oh, you immortals, pray enlighten me. What justifies your superiority?
Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 was again revealed. It's available to pre-order now on all stores. Developers said that Deliverance 2 will be twice as big as the original game whenever it arrives. That being said, this sequel over here is of course a first-person medieval-style RPG. It's a highly reactive world in which players can develop their own character as they choose to. It's a lot like Baldur's Gate, like I said before. It's a different story, maybe even bigger.
Nobody will hand anything on a platter to men like you and me.
You still have a long way to go till your work is done.
This is what the Mongols call human beings that were born with the gift to understand the language of the horses.
As I mentioned this a few days ago, if this gameplay didn't sell it right away, we've got over here a new open world delivery game like Death Stranding, in which you ride horses in 13th century in Mongolia. Name of the game is called Windstorm, Legend of Khiimori. It's definitely inspired by Horizon, a little bit of Shadow Colossus, and also of course the Death Stranding. And what's even better, this game is not in the future, it's set over 700 years into the past, and it's a semi-history accurate game in nature. Take a look.
Heart of Mongolia. Windstorm, the legend of Khiimori.
Not everybody wants to be part of the UCA.
That's not the plan, Sam. The UCA isn't looking to expand its borders.
That being said, even though we're not still 100% sure about Death Stranding 2 story, the sequel over here follows Sam as he tries to connect other parts of the world, taking things even further into Mexico, right? In case you missed out on his original review, there's a recent update. Hideo Kojima revealed more gameplay for Death Stranding 2, additionally titled the game Death Stranding on the Beach. The game is coming to the PlayStation 5 and PCs only in 2025.
Helped it be reborn as the UCA. But I'm afraid that Death Stranding is far from over. Humanity is still in danger. Still on the brink of extinction. Don't act like you don't see it. A lot of things changed after you went off on your own. Especially within the UCA. Bridges no longer oversees the distribution network. They withdrew once things were up and running. So your friends and co-workers all went their separate ways. Within network coverage, there's no need to rely on human porters anymore. So after I closed up shop, I went and started a new group. One that handles work in regions outside.
A little over a month ago, Industria 2 was finally surfaced on the Future Games show with a release window of 2025 into PCs only. That's right. Other than what developers have said, we know the new game is a dimension-crossing narrative first-person shooter and also a sequel to a 4-year-old franchise that was received quite well upon release. Now, Industria 2 is made with the use of Unreal Engine 5 and delivering a compelling narrative that unfolds in an alternative dimension.
If you hear this, don't take any risks. We need you.
Kingmakers, which we already mentioned once or even twice, is actually amongst the projects that actually took us by surprise. This is a battle simulation strategy third-person shooter set in medieval times that pretty much lets you go back in time with a vast arsenal of modern weapons to change the course of history, save the future. Kinda like the Assassin's Creed. Anyway, here's a trailer. We're still waiting on a precise release date.
Our people a future. I hope he can save his own.
And of course, last but not least, we've got A Twisted Path to Renown. This is a community-driven MMO, PvPvE extraction-based first-person shooter, the developer stated, featuring immersive survival mechanics and a highly detailed metagame, including mining, crafting, development, and all that in 1899 America. Anyway, this game is coming to PCs, Xbox Series X, and the PlayStation 5 sometime next year.